supporter voted for Donald Trump to do what he's doing. Did you expect Donald Trump to do this? Not all this. Oh, it feels so good. That's how I feel. Do you like Elon Musk? Yes. Well, yes. Yes, I do. I'm watching Democrats tell me, I thought Republicans like small government. Well, that didn't work, so we need Elon. That's why we got Elon, to help shrink it. Look what he's doing for the USAID. They're dropping their workforce from 10,000 to 300.
Let me pause this. Let me pause this here for those who might be listening. The man is wearing a shirt that says size matters, and there's a series of bullets. Let me maximize this just so I can see the full bullets. You gotta. Oh, yeah. Is he doing grains? I don't know. It's bullets, people. And then it says size matters. For those of you who are not watching this and listening, rather, yes, the man is a black man who's invoking his blackness to say Trump supporters are not racist, and we knew what we were voting for, and we're happy what we voted for, and we're happy that we're getting it. Oh, this guy's funny. Did I think we were going to get not all this? Okay, let's let this play out because it's glorious.
Black History Moment. Black History Moment. Every last black that's on television seem to be all sucking off the Democrat teat. All of them give the same talking point, the same concerns, all Democrat approved. All of you Democrat approved. Well, Donald Trump, he really ain't helping black people. He really ain't helping black people. You brag one moment black people didn't support Donald Trump. So why are you upset Donald Trump ain't supporting black folk? You can't have it both ways, but he is.
Who is this man? Hold on. Who is this? He's either a comedic genius, Tony trademark. I don't know how you can trademark Tony. And he is a God-fearing patriot, family man, America first, banned in 2020 and reinstated in 2023, RT'd by the Donald Trump. I don't know if he follows me because I found this. Oh, we're not starting from the beginning. Yes. Let's go over here.
What Donald Trump is doing, he's eliminating are you a DEI hire or are you a hire? Yes, and people have a right to say that. I'm enjoying every single bit of this. Friday, I'm loving it. Trump kicking butt. You don't like it? Guess what? You didn't vote for Trump. We're out here protesting. We're protesting those. Did you vote for Donald Trump? No. So why am I surprised that you out here?
No. They've got to protest the results of democracy. Oh my goodness, we're going to get into it because in today's show, let's play this out and see how it ends. We got to hear it to the end, and I'm going to share everybody the link. You'll go follow Tony because he sounds like a very insightful, humorous man.
Testing Trump. You didn't vote for him, so of course you're not going to like it. But as for people like me, I'm loving it. Enjoy your
That's
ride.
A McDonald's reference. And by the way, the reason why I do car vlogs, but I don't do driving vlogs typically, because I believe I don't have very many haters on the internet, but I do have people who are going to look for Viva violating the law. And, you could set up a tripod and maybe do it, but holding the camera, even if it's just a camera and not a cell phone, they might not get you on the holding a cell phone while driving, but there's technically a distracted driving, I think, provision that they might be able to get if you're holding a camera that is not a cell phone. So whether or not I would be doing that myself, that man is a happy man who is happy with the state of America. But he is, he's among the majority, but he is not, he's much happier than some other people are. Those other people, for example, would be, look at her face. She looks like she's about to fart. This is Amy Klobuchar, who looks like she's about to fart right now, or she looks like she's in the midst of crapping her diapers, and she's not happy. They're very, very unhappy. You've never seen Democrats start defending corruption. There's been a whole inversion of the party, from anti-vax, anti-war, anti-big government, anti-big corporation to sucking at the teat of the government, sucking at the teat, big pharma, big corporations, censorship, and now they are literally defending government corruption. They being the Democrats, and not just the Democrat stooge politicians. Klobuchar, the people. Let's listen to this.
You look at what he campaigned on, that was cutting costs for people. not adding costs for people in order to give tax cuts to his billionaire friends.
We're going to play a game where, like, I don't think you can pause it on Amy Klobuchar's face and have it not look like she's expelling gas.
And that is exactly what you're seeing. They're looking
right there. Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
For money everywhere. And when I look at, say, the Medicare negotiation for prescription drugs, that even the Biden administration taking this law that Senator Sanders and I and others have worked on that would save $1.5 billion in just the 10 drugs they negotiated already in out-of-pocket costs for seniors, they won't commit to doing that again. They are undermining those programs with the budget that has been suggested in the House of Representatives. And so you look at what they're doing, it is totally the opposite. Corruption's up. Chaos is up.
Corruption is up. Please elaborate, Amy. Like, look at this dipstick on the left here. Trying not to swear in the first 8 minutes to, maximize algorithmic promotion on CommieTube. Look at that dipstick on the left. What's his name again? That's not John J. Harwood, is it? No, it's not. I forget his name now. Corruption is up. How do you measure? I have no idea. I just said it. What else is up?
And yes, prices are up for Americans.
Prices are up year over year. I can't believe that Trump hasn't done 4 years of devastation in 1 month. What he has done in 1 month has been absolutely glorious.
And that's why we are standing up against this effort to basically put their tax cuts for billionaires on the backs of working people, whether it's social.
That's exactly. I can't even listen to that verbal diarrhea. That is what's going on with the Democrats. But we're going to get into the actual meltdown in a bit because I've gone and done the homework so that you don't have to do it. But in as much as some people are seeing the light, some people are doing full 180s, some people are doubling down, digging in their heels, digging in their stiletto heels if you're Nikki Haley. CNN seems to be getting moderate, like seems to be seeing the light of day. Like, oh yeah, if we want to stay in business, don't ask why I have a roll of toilet paper. Speaking of Amy Klobuchar, this is to pick up dog do that always finds its way into my office. CNN seems to be getting less politically unhinged. Listen to this. Trump and the GOP have reshaped America's voter base. Even CNN is forced to admit it.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that. 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans.
They found a lot more dead supporters back in 2020. It's an amazing thing. And then look what happens 4 years later.
But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
That man has gesticulations which rival the annoyingness of Gavin Newsom. But appreciate that swing as well. And this is sort of what we were calling it during the election. When you have Trump amassing a broader base and then amassing a newer base with the coalition of Dems turned Republican because they've seen the madness of their party and they've been forced out of their party through corruption, through whoring for big pharma, whoring for big corporations, and whoring for big war. You get Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. come over, and even if they bring 4 million, 5 million each, that's the swing that you've seen there. But it's amazing. It's amazing. What we're witnessing in real time and a first month of Trump's presidency. Some people are loving it, and other people are having literal psychotic meltdowns. I'm going to go into a bit of not a rabbit hole. I'm going to show you my thought process, my obsession, and why the brain never shuts off and the wheels never stop spinning for good or for bad. First of all, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. Viva Frei, if you're new. Montreal litigator turned Florida rumbler. My real name is David Freiheit, for anybody who thinks it's a gotcha. Actually, we're going to have that a few times today. It's a miracle of a time to be living through, where what you're witnessing is the corruption laid bare. Corruption is up. No, corruption has always been and is now being exposed like we've never seen it before. Anybody who didn't realize the degree to which Bernie Sanders is a compromised asset wonders no more. The corruption has been laid bare for everyone to see, that the good old socialists, champagne socialists, have been revealed for being the true pharma whores that they are. You know, when Elizabeth Warren was revealed as not being native, being 1,032 native, I guarantee you I'm more native than Elizabeth Warren. I'm not doing those tests anyhow because I think they steal your DNA or your data. The corruption has indeed been laid bare for the world to see, which is why people are fleeing the Democrat Party. Some, however, are not. All right. Monday was President's Day. I did not realize it was a federal holiday. And then videos began emerging of massive protests across America, of anti-Trump and anti-Elon protests. And at first I was skeptical. Look, I follow, or at least I follow the Twitter feeds of people who are confirmed pathological liars. Like, they are liars. They might be telling the truth sometimes, or they might not be wrong, but they are remorseless liars. One of whom is a man who aptly enough calls himself No Lie with Brian Taylor Cohen. You know him because I needle him remorselessly on the interwebs. He puts out a tweet earlier this morning, and I look at it and I say, I don't believe it, because I'm predisposed to think everything this guy says is a lie. Now, it might still be a lie, but every now and again, even a broken clock is right twice a day, assuming the clock is frozen. If the clock is getting 1 minute later every day, it's not going to be right twice a day. Brian Taylor Cohen, No Lie with Brian, BTC, whatever, puts out this video, and it says incredible footage of massive anti-Trump Musk protest that broke out in New York City. Just broke out, like totally organic. MAGA is awakening a sleeping giant. So first of all, his assessment is just, it's like I said, it's politically, spiritually, intellectually retarded, period. He played, let me just turn the volume down so it doesn't blast anybody. This is the video that he plays, and I'm skeptical. First of all, that looks like the Arc de Triomphe, but it's not. Well, it's the New York's Arc de Triomphe in Washington Square. Look at this. Oh yeah, there is no audio on this. Okay, whatever. So I see this footage, and I'm like, first of all, that's not that big of a crowd. I mean, not to size matters, not to be superficial. That's not that big of a crowd. I mean, it really thins out towards the back, but I'm like, okay, when is this from? Where is this from? So I start scouring the internet, screen grabbing this to see if this actually is what it says it is. Now, you notice on the top of the Arch, there's a little white square right there. All right. So I Google satellite to see what the whatever this Arc de Triomphe is, and it's in Washington Square in New York City. And I don't see the white thing on the top. And I thought that they were reusing footage from another event, pro-life, whatever, BLM, pro-abortion, BLM, whatever. The footage is legit. And it took a little bit of sleuthing, but the sleuthing is itself the reward. You see right down here on the bottom? Okay, right here. It looks like it says like collar U or something. It's red on white, and it looks like it's COLL backwards and YOU. All right, that was my smoking gun. So I go looking around, and I find a 2-hour live stream of the protest that allegedly occurred at this place. And let me see here. Mass formation cycle. No, that's me. And I find this. Look at this. Here. I go through a 2-hour live stream from a guy who was kind of doing what I was doing during the trucker protest, walking the streets and talking to people. And during that, I see, oh, look, here is this this billboard which says, you will fail. And it says, oh, what does it say? What did that say? Road tours? Oh, collaborators, you will fail. Psychopaths. The sign says collaborators, you will fail. And then I know this is from live on the event of, which was 1 day ago. Status Coup News went and did some on the street interviews. And I tell you, so the video's legit. I went and watched the better part of this live stream, 2 hours of this man interviewing people on the street who had allegedly organically, magically appeared to protest Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I was told when I was a kid, liberalism is a mental disorder. I wasn't told this. I remember hearing this growing up back in more conservative times. Liberalism is indeed a mental disorder. Hold on. Pause that thought. And you want to know how much of a mental disorder it is? Just go talk to some liberals and let them speak. I listened to that 2-hour interview. I was scrolling through and stopping at the interviews because, there's some stuff where he's walking through and whatever. They are literally crazy. And I'm not, there's a part of me that feels bad for them. But then there's also a part of me that gets extremely angry at the people who manipulate people who are clearly mentally ill. Just some flavors of what went on. These are real people who think they're right, who think they're informed, who are absolutely insane. A woman here is carrying the sign that says, "Stop the steal." Recall, by the way. I mean, it's so amazing. They called us, I'll include myself there, election deniers, because the election was fortified to the point of fortification. They said "Stop the Steal" was an act of insurrection. They said "Stop the Steal" and "Fight like hell" was an impeachable offense. They said that the people who said the election was stolen are liars, conspiracy theorists, Russian assets, because the election is totally uncompromisingly fortified with integrity that it can't be stolen. And now they are literally adopting. It's like Kamala Harris adopted the no tax on tips. Then she adopted the tighter border. Now they're adopting and co-opting the "Stop the Steal." I may or may not play the entire thing. You'll get the idea after 1 minute, but I want to play one specific highlight of this particular crazy lady.
This is the real steal!
Tell me, what do you think about Trump basically outsourcing presidency to Elon Musk?
Now, I appreciate when I went to Ottawa and I was asking people questions on the street, I would make a joke. Yes, I'm biased. I think you guys are right. And I think that anybody opposing this protest is wrong. You hear the question? What do you think of Trump?
Trump basically outsourcing presidency to Elon Musk.
What do you think of Trump basically outsourcing his presidency to Elon Musk? I mean, I might reach out to this guy and we can have a discussion. We'll see. But what does the lady have to say about Trump outsourcing his presidency to Elon Musk?
Yeah, we can walk.
It's horrible. It's
horrible.
I mean, it's hard to believe that it's real because it's so awful. It's just so hard to believe.
Now stop. There's a dude behind her to the left wearing an N95 mask. Now maybe the person's wearing it because they don't want to be identified, or maybe they're wearing it because they're mentally broken from COVID and they still think those things do something even outdoors. Okay.
And Musk is Trump is just a puppet. Musk is doing it all.
Right.
Can you understand this level of delusion? So Trump is a Putin puppet. Trump is a Musk puppet. These people don't understand that they will just make the puppet to fit whomever is the new boogeyman of the day. Now Musk is the boogeyman. The man who wants to save humanity, go green, solar panels, is now the enemy. And now Trump went from being Putin's puppet to Elon Musk's puppet.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, so horrible.
So horrible.
Project 2025. They've had this planned for so long. And if they didn't get it now, it's going to be Project 2029. It's just awful. We have to fight. We We can't let our democracy go down the drain. We just can't.
And, Democrats have been warning about Trump as a fascist for years. But their response to actions have been very minimal up until this point.
He's terrorized everybody. That's what he's got here over these 10 years. Everybody in Congress, he got rid of anybody that was saying no to him. He just picked everyone off one by one by one.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy. But if you can imagine, it gets even crazier. I got to play the highlights. I suffered through this, so you don't have to, but you have to entertain me and at least listen to the craziness because people believe this. She's worried about the EPA. She's worried about the environment. She hates Elon Musk, but she's worried about the environment. And in her delusional, broken mind, she thinks that Elon doesn't care about the environment. And the reason for which she thinks he doesn't care about planet Earth will cause you to laugh, but also to cry a little bit. Listen to this.
They don't care if they ruin the world. Musk is going to go to Mars. So he doesn't care what happens to the planet.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, if you have money, you don't have a concern about that.
Oh my God, I know.
Musk is going to go to Mars, so he doesn't care about what happens to the Earth. I mean, it's insane. And when I say at a lot of these things, I also get the feeling that they're exploiting vulnerable people. literally homeless people, I think. And I say that I'm trying to be respectful, and I don't want to make fun of people just based on appearance. But when I went to certain protests in Montreal, I spoke with people. They were homeless people who were basically allowed to occupy these protest areas to make it look like there was some sort of organic support for it. Listen to this gentleman, what he has to say. When you're talking about mentally unwell people calling for violence in basically unequivocal terms, listen to this.
Speak into it.
Well, anyway, we're here to talk about Trump and Elon Musk, who is taking over our government. And we're tired of it. We don't want it. That's the reason we're here. This administration is crazy. They're nuts, and they have to be removed before all your rights are taken away from you. You have got the power. If you stand up, you have to remove these people. If you love yourself and your children, please listen and get rid of Trump.
Look at the guy holding the mic behind him, this performative. Yes, I agree with you. If you love your children, you have to get rid of Trump.
The day may come where we all have to gather and surround the White House and demand for this idiot to leave us alone. Because he is not helping us. He's hurting every single
the guy. Oh,
one
yeah.
of us.
Everyone.
He's hurting your children. He's killing people around the world.
He's killing people around the world.
This guy is a maniac. Get rid of Elon, Trump, and almost all the Republican Party.
Thank you.
They're all cowards.
Yes, amen. Testify. What do you think the chances that protest was organically orchestrated or organically arose? See, it's about 0. So that's what's going on the left, people. They're having a normal day with a bunch of normal people who literally think that Elon doesn't care about Earth because he's going to be on Mars in his luxury mansion while Earth is burning off because of the blight that we saw in the movie Interstellar. Morons, idiots, and I don't know what else to call them. Now, you don't need to go watch that 2-hour live stream because I did it. But by the way, just, because the love of the Earth, and you listen to this, and you got all your actors, but there was one in particular who's literally an actress. I mean, literally an actress. And it really, I never thought I'd see the day where, regardless of how you feel about abortion, regardless, that it becomes your call in life is a bit of an odd passion.
Hold on 1 second.
She's wearing a sign that says a woman's voice is in the resistance.
Yeah, I'm here for my rights. My rights as a woman. I have the right, my choice to go and get an abortion if I need to. I'm a granddaughter of immigrants. They have the right to come here and choose to be able to have freedom, to have a chance to follow their dreams.
Absolutely. What are some of your biggest concerns about Trump's power grab and dismantling?
Abortion.
I mean,
what are some of your biggest concerns about Trump's power grab?
First of all, my women's rights to choose, the Project 2025, that happening. Him taking away the arts. I'm an actor. I'm a theater kid. Seeing that breaks my heart. Going into the industry now. I mean, ICE. Seeing people getting stripped away from their homes. It's heartbreaking, and I'm here to support that.
Everyone is a liberal until they get assaulted, and there is no fear hides a wish there. May that woman not have the Anna Kasparian compelled transition from liberalism, the mental disorder, to conservatism, the reality. But that's what's going on the left, people. They're having a normal one since Doge has been doing what it's doing, yeah. Let me see here. We'll get to this in a second. But the bottom line, unfortunately, the video was authentic, but the video led me to the madness that was that relatively small protest there. But we're going to end the segment with Brian Taylor Cohen. because these guys are idiots. You got to hear. This is the man. You want to know why all those people are unhinged maniacs, ignorant, ill-informed, propagandized, and unhinged. This is why. This is the guy that they get their information from.
The reality is that Trump ran through a bunch of unqualified nominees to lead departments that they were incapable of leading, and this is what happens as a result.
Rammed through people to lead committees that they were incapable of leading. They haven't really been in position. Some of them haven't even been confirmed yet. Like, maybe this would be a good conclusion if it's warranted by the facts in 4 years, 2 years, 1 year, whatever. A month in, that's the conclusion. Things haven't happened yet to justify this, but this is the conclusion. It's called arguing from conclusions and not towards them.
This right here is the consequence. Donald Trump owns all of this. Elon Musk owns all of this.
What does he own?
And all of these spineless Republican senators who greenlit Sean Duffy own all of this. These people are such fucking cowards that they felt it was more important to kowtow to Daddy Trump than actually take their advice and consent role seriously. And now we can barely go a day without a plane crashing somewhere in this country. Maybe next time these Republicans should try and disconnect their lips from Donald Trump's ass and focus on the people that they're supposed to be in office representing for a change, and then the whole country might be better off.
Very odd graphic of this man talking about someone's lips on Donald Trump's ass. Maybe a day can go by without a plane falling out of the sky. Who did I have a fight with yesterday on Twitter? Everybody. I'm in the trenches, Rogan. Fighting with these idiots actually believe that the plane crashes, the spate of plane crashes that we're witnessing right now, is the result of 1 month of Trump's policies, whatever those would be in their impact on aviation safety, and not 4 years of DEI policy and what that might have by way of impact on the aviation industry. I'm not reading some of that chat. It's an amazing thing. Like it's just, it's not motivated reasoning. It's broken brains. There's no consequence to DEI. Well, that was under Biden. This is under Trump. Oh yeah, it happened now. We've had a spate of plane aviation issues because of 1 month of Trump, but not because of 4 years of Biden. It's so frustrating because there is no way of reasoning with a broken brain. There's no way of reasoning with a liar. All you can do is exploit, capitalize off one and the other to reach the people in the middle who are reasonable, looking for the truth, and have a proper functioning brain. So yeah, it's the planes crashing is as a result of Donald Trump's 1 month of presidency, and not, I won't even blame Joe Biden. I'll blame Justin Trudeau. I'll blame a decade of political correctness, a decade of DEI over competence, a decade of identity politics over skill. And then I'll say, yeah, maybe it's the culmination of a decade of that and not a snapping of a stick from Donald Trump's 1 month presidency where he's done nothing that could possibly explain planes crashing in Canada. Everyone, the plane crashing in Canada at the Toronto airport was Trump's fault because the plane originated from Minneapolis. There was another one here, a runway collision Montreal plane. There was another one the other day here. Yeah, February 17th. No, that's the other one. I thought there was also a runway collision in Montreal. The Delta flight that crashed, and by the grace of God, everybody survived. 18 people have been hospitalized, and some, I think, apparently 3 are in critical condition. They tried to blame on Trump because the plane originated from Minneapolis, landed and crashed at the Pearson Airport in Toronto in a snowstorm with heavy gusts of winds. I've watched another analysis, and I would dare say that the analysis we did yesterday on this show with our cousin Eddie from the vivabarneslaw.locals.com community was damn right on point. And we'll see what else comes out because there's going to be some more reports, et cetera, et cetera. But by and large, it looks like either pilot error or some sequence of events that caused a rapid descent with no flaring on the runway, causing the collapse of the landing gear, because on that particular plane, it's not extremely robust landing gear. A miracle of all miracles that the wings broke off the way they did, and the fuel in the wings burnt off in a separate direction and didn't burn the fuselage of the plane. Everybody gets out, and I got to tell you, the flight attendants on that plane who are in an upside down plane guiding out the passengers calmly, orderly, with conviction in their voice are freaking heroes, period. I'm not saying that the pilots are not heroes. We'll find out what's going on with the pilots. But the internet is what it is, people. And when you talk about the consequences of DEI that are, it happens very slowly, then all at once. It's a phenomenon of bankruptcy. It's a phenomenon of broken marriages. It's a phenomenon of failed businesses. It happens slowly, then all at once. A series of culminating events, and then boom. It feels like it happens overnight, but if you look back, it's actually been years in the making. So they want to blame Trump and whatever FAA cuts that he's been proposing. I don't even think he's done them yet. They don't want to blame DEI. But alas, the internet is what it is. And the DEI has been spotted, people. If I can find it fast enough. Here we go. This one right here. I'm going to put the volume down because let's see what's going on with the volume here. This is, so a lot of people also don't know. They say it's a Delta plane, therefore it's an American thing. First of all, the plane is a Bombardier plane operating under the Delta banner, but it's a regional one that was actually operated by Endeavor Air. All of this is now confirmed. And Wokeness has put together a montage and put together this video on the Twitter world that says the plane that crashed in Toronto was a Delta flight built by Bombardier, but we don't know if there's any mechanical failure, operated by Endeavor Air, a small airline obsessed with all-female, quote, unmanned, end quote, flights. Appreciate the hyperbolic editorializing. Obsessed is editorializing, but what we could say is, at the very least, interested in all-female unmanned flights. And this is the video that End Wokeness or whomever put together. Listen to this.
Girls, come on.
I'm going to turn the volume down here. It says, leaving the flying game. I don't think so. Walking down like a boss, folding her arms like a girl boss. This says, when you have an unmanned flight crew, and she's got face masks because that was the law back then. And then what do we got here? We've got a female pilot. Things can happen. 2 female pilots with some music that I'm trying to talk over so we don't hear it. Now you've got, I haven't seen a man in this montage yet. I'm sure they have other videos that have men in them. But thus far, and statistically also, I think flight attendants are predominantly female. But now we've got, I don't even know, are these real pilots is the question. I would be shocked if it turns out that these are actually actresses. But yes, we have a company here that seems to be, at the very least, based on this montage, mildly obsessed with gender identity politics. There's a man right there on the left, I think. This is the company, by the way, guys.
Click or click? Click. Let's do it.
That's the company. That's where if you fly on a company plane and you see that this is what they're dedicating their dollars to, you're gonna feel better or worse. Couldn't care who the pilot is, so long as they are the best for the job. When a company is focusing on gender, race, whatever, they're focusing on something other than best for the job. That's the actual video. I see someone saying OMG. That's an actual video from the plane company that went down. And you're gonna have, oh lordy, you're gonna have them say that's the crew was professional, but by that point it was divine intervention that everyone on that plane was still alive and not anything that anybody did after that plane crashed. We're only going to find out if it's as a result of something that they did do that caused the plane to crash. And we haven't yet. You can Google. You don't yet know the names of the pilots, which is very curious. And I simply put out a tweet. It's like, now might be the time, Endeavor, to release the names of the pilots just for transparency purposes, because if you don't, it's going to look like you might be concealing something for reasons which we can all possibly imagine. I mean, we talked about it yesterday with Cousin Eddie. It's a regional flight, so you have less experienced pilots, but not incompetent pilots, like still experienced, but less experienced than commercial. People go there to get their hours so they can go work for the 737 companies. If it turns out, and I'm not saying it is, I don't know yet, and I'm very much following the story, that you have 2 young women who might have appeared in that ad, who might have been spending more time doing TikTok viral videos than whatever, you're going to have people rightly or wrongly saying, holy shit. So they haven't released the names yet. it's a very suspicious thing not to release the names, because if the pilots had done something heroic to save the plane, you'd think that they'd want to get that information out there. So we'll see. Doesn't look good. It does not look good, people. All right, now what we're going to do here is this is going to be the time of the show where I'm going to take the Super Chat, Rumble Rants, and Tip questions, and then we're going to head on over to Rumble, and then for the after party on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Paracleric in our locals community says, Viva, pilot failed to flare on landing. Only reason would be bad skills or altimeter not set. Hold on. Excuse me, I got to hit the cough button. So the flare, if anybody missed yesterday's show, go watch it, and I posted the segment independently. The flare is when you go down, and it's been explained by an actual pilot, and Cousin Eddie is damn good. I think everybody watching says, I would get on a plane with that guy any day of the week. The flare is when the plane's coming down, you got to tip up the nose so that you compress the air, and you create ground effects so that it softens the landing, and that this one dropped rapidly. There was no flare. The nose didn't tip up. It didn't cause any ground effects, and it hit hard. I'd like Cousin Eddie, member of our locals community, hypothesizing maybe between 4,000 and 5,000 feet per minute descent, which will, the people who are in critical condition, I have no doubt, ruptured, busted discs in their back or whatever. So the question would be then, why didn't it flare? Was there a massive gust? It was very windy. It was like 50 some odd kilometer an hour winds. Apparently they were coming head, I want to say like northwest-ish, but they were headwinds. Was there a massive gust of a tailwind that caused the plane to drop suddenly and not flare? We don't know yet. But yes, that was the standing theory right now, is it didn't flare. Stephen Britton, also in our locals community, says, Viva, the identity of the pilots is rarely revealed because the investigation is not about laying blame, but finding out what happened and how to prevent it. If the pilots are identified and it ultimately turns out they did nothing wrong, their reputations are needlessly ruined. And Steve Britton adds, and all we will probably know is their age, gender, total flying hours. And that's it. That's interesting. But Stephen, in the DC crash, they released their names after a week. People were hyped. But I appreciate the idea, or at least maybe they'll release it after a week or so. But they released the names in the DC crash. Turns out the pilot, young woman, but more people were focusing on her ties to the Joe Biden administration. Anyhow, so that's that. Let's see what we got in here. We got we got a new subscriber over in vivabarneslaw.locals.com, a member of our community, ABRSVC. Let me see if I can think about a good acronym for this. No, I can't think of one. All of my acronyms, I tend to have foul acronyms in my head. Welcome to the community, ABRSVC, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. What do we got here? I hope she's not a painter, and I'm not sure what that's about. And then, is that me as a Hirono? Mr. Barnes, have you ever been accused of having a sexual relationships or sexual misconduct? Hold on. I've got to bring this up because otherwise no one's going to know what the heck is going on. Egad is the only word for that. Here, hold on. Here, is this Finboy Slick? This is what I would look like if my father had relations with Hirono. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's get on over to Rumble. We're going to talk about a couple of things, not the least of which is Pat King, who was sentenced today. Pat King is the Ottawa trucker convoy protest participant. They were accusing him of being the organizer, was charged with mischief, was facing up to 10 years in jail. He got sentenced. And what else are we going to talk about there? Hold on. Oh, this truth post by Donald Trump, which is going to blow your freaking minds because it's causing people's faces to melt. Truth bombs is what he drops. And then when people argue about it, I take to the trenches of Twitter to make sure everybody understands, yeah, you didn't make the point you thought you were making there, dumb bum. Let us have that discussion over on Rumble, Viva Frei, or vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Going to end it. CommieTube, get your butts on over there. Let me make sure that the... Oh, no, it's not in the pinned comment. Come on. Here, hold on. Here is the link to Rumble. Maybe it is pinned. Here, hold on. Right here. Okay, go look at that and come on over. Pin message. The pinned comment is the link to Rumble. If you want to come over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, feel free to do that as well. And let me make sure that I haven't missed anything up here. Oh, and by the way, 4 o'clock, I'm going to be on with the unusual suspects. We got a CommieTube super rant, Rumble super chat. It's not a banned account. Says Trump is starting a war on women and minorities. Not a banned account is clearly parody. And if he's not, no, I'm pretty sure we've established that not a banned account is parody. So come on over now. I want to see just to get the number to under 1.2 thousand and come on over to Rumble, and we're going to go through. I'll tease it while you guys, what is it called? Merge, migrate. That's it. That's the tease right there. Have a look at it. It's causing people to have breakdowns. They're also now defending Zelensky, defending corruption and everything. All right, that is it. Ending on CommieTube. People, see you on Rumble. But